Wrestling is real, people are fake. Cause when you eating, they peeping your plate. Sitting in the cut to see your mistakes. Pray on your weakness to keep you at bay. Wrestling and music is seeming the same. I'm displaying my part, trying to keep out the way. They call me a leader cause I was the teacher, but nowadays
Welcome to another episode of Wrestling the Rap Game. And as you see, man, we have a special guest. We have Mega Ran in the building. We're here live at the Black Material concert. And man, I appreciate you for coming on, bro.
Thank you for having me, man. This is cool. It's a little different, you know. I was like, pull up, and you pulled up.
Hey,
so
man, I appreciate it.
I appreciate you, man.
Super excited for this one. I mean, me and you've been for like 2 years now. Been cool, chopping it up, and I told you I'm a fan of your work. I'm a fan
Thank
of
you.
the person as well.
Thank you.
I actually don't even know what I did with it, but I bought your book just a second
You did
ago.
buy the book. Thank you. You bought the last copy.
I had to buy the book. I'm a reader, so I'm definitely gonna check that out.
Dope. There's an audiobook version too, but I like sitting down and reading.
Yeah, I have like a bunch of like books at the house and everything, so I'm gonna read that,
Dope.
add it to the collection.
Let me know what you think, man.
I will.
That was my pandemic project, man. I was we couldn't get out, couldn't do much, and I had been collecting these short stories of my life basically for the years, and finally just decided to start putting it together. Got with my homegirl who's the editor.
There it goes.
I'm a
best team in the world.
there you go.
There it goes.
I'm an English major, so like I think that I can write pretty well, but like I don't trust myself. So I got two editors to look at it, and they were like, "This book is ready. What are you waiting for? Why don't you publish it?" And I was like, "Okay." So I wound up doing it, and the response has been great. Like, it's just about sharing my journey, and even since then, a whole lot of things have happened, but it stops at a really crucial point in 2018, which is when I kind of think I turned the corner as Mega Ran and really started figuring out what I was going to be doing with this, you know?
Speaking of the journey, man, Philly, born and raised.
Yes.
Went to Penn State.
Yes.
Bachelor's too.
Okay, did some research.
I did my research.
Changed my major like 4 times, but eventually got out of there with an African American Studies bachelor's.
And was a teacher in Philly.
Yes. Started teaching in Philly. I taught there about 4 years. Then moved to Phoenix. Started teaching there, doing special ed and different things like that. And me, all the while, like music was the dream on the side. That was like, let me just have some fun. And ironically, it was the album that we're celebrating tonight, Black Materia, that propelled me to really do this full time. Like, this record kind of went viral, and a lot of people got behind it. And so I was like, all right, I'm gonna go on tour with it. And so I quit my job to do that, and didn't have to look back.
Hey, man, you know what? You put 2 feet in, and you believed in yourself, and I'm so happy it worked out for you, bro.
Man, I feel like, I can run it back to wrestling, like Cody Rhodes, man.
Yeah.
His story, it inspires me, man. Like, you got to bet on yourself.
Yeah.
You have to,
Absolutely.
Get to the point where you're undeniable.
And here we are, man. And I don't know if you want to be. I'll flex for you and say, man, you are undeniable, man.
Thank you. I appreciate that. You can flex. I'm a very humble guy.
I know.
This
man.
whole thing's a dream for me. Like, just being able to make the music I like and have the fun that I do. Travel. I get to go to wrestling shows. I get to go to game conventions. I get to live the dream. And a lot of it's like work, so it's like really dope.
Hey, man, like I said, I will say you are undeniable as you've performed all over the world. You performed at Comic-Con.
Yeah.
You've worked with Capcom. Like, I feel like you have accomplished so much, man, and I attribute that to your just the person you are, being the humble person you are, being just an overall great human being, and just in your work ethic.
Thank you. It just takes a lot of hard work, but also being a good person to be around is what I probably most of all. Most people say about Rand, they be like, "Oh, he's just a good dude."
Yeah,
like and that's more important than anything, because having the hottest album, the #1 album, whatever, can go away, but just being a good dude is what will propel you for life.
And stand the test of time.
Absolutely.
I saw you quoted Maya Angelou as well for an interview you had, and I wish I had the quote, but it was such a a humble quote, and it had to do with being just a good person.
Oh yeah, it's like basically I'll paraphrase, but it was like people will forget the things that you did for them, but they'll never forget how you made them feel.
There it goes.
You know, and I live by that, man, because good feelings, good vibes will travel forever.
Absolutely.
You know, it's not like, oh, this guy lent me $5 once. It's like, nah, this guy showed up when I needed him, you know, and like that's the kind of person I want to be for people, because I didn't really have that coming up. You know, growing up in Philly, it's a real dog-eat-dog world, you know?
Yeah.
And we're like New York's little brother, so like nobody really wants to give anybody a chance. Everybody's trying to get a leg up. And there's a lot of, like people always say, Philly doesn't support his own. You know, they wait till you blow up somewhere else. They wait till you get going, like the Roots, like Meek Mill. Like there's so many folks who had to leave to really get the respect that they, you know, have earned, you know. But at the same time, like coming up in that area and that environment, I think it makes you want to be better.
Yeah.
You know, it makes you want to do better so that you can reach back. You know, like when I started making, like there was nobody making music about wrestling, or there was nobody making rap music about video games. Any of these things wasn't happening. So there was no mentor I could look up to.
Yeah.
No manual to see how to do it. So I was just doing it, learning, getting wrong, doing things. So now when these young cats come up and like nerdcore and want to do things, I can point them in the right direction so you don't waste a lot of time, you know? And so I just try to be that person that I would have wanted to be, or be there for me, you know?
And also, I saw you started making beats on PlayStation.
Correct.
On the MTV
Music generator.
music generator.
I used to work at GameStop. Well, it was EB Games. And one day some dude brought one in to trade in, a music generator. And my boy tapped me like, yo, you know what that is? And I was like, nah. And he's like, yo, that's that fire. And I was like, you sure? He's like, yo, you better get it. So I got it, took it home, and I was like, I can't figure this out. It had all a bunch of techno drum and bass sounds on it. I was like, boots and cats and boots. I was like, this ain't hitting. But you could sample. So once you figured that out, you could pop the disc out, put in any other disc, and sample like 15 seconds, and chop it up like DJ Premier, and make your own beats. Problem is, once you sampled, your track became too big to save on a memory card, so you couldn't save it. But you at least had some fire on a 2-track, you know. So, so that was what I made my first beats on. But I used to lie. People would be like, "Yo, what you use to make your beats?" I'm like, you know, just a little bit of this, a little bit of that. You know, whatever I get my hands on, you know. I never told people I was on a PlayStation. I didn't think they would take me seriously. And that making beats on PlayStation got me a gig as an engineer at a studio in Philly. This guy was like, man, come through, learn how to work my board. And in your downtime, you can sell your beats. And I was like, cool. So in downtime, I'll play my little PlayStation beats. People would be like, yo, what's this? What's this?
It's that Sony.
Yeah, like, yo, this that Sony sound. You know, I was doing a lot of like Kanye style sampling, like Chipmunk Soul. They used to call me Kanye East.
Kanye
And
East.
yeah, so I was just like playing around a lot with soul music. And my mom was like, you gonna get sued doing that? Like I would go to the library, grab mad stacks of CDs, come home, go sampling crazy and take them all back. And like I couldn't even tell you what I used. Like I was just like, I don't remember. I gotta take this. I don't own the CDs anymore. But that was how I got started making music.
And you were recording your own music as well at the same time, right?
Yeah, when I was at the studio, during downtime, I would record my own vocals. Like I'd be like, all right, I'm gonna just cut a little track, because I didn't think anybody wanted to hear what I was talking about. I was rapping from the perspective of, you know, being who I am. Like I'm a normal guy who lives in the hood, but I'm not a gangster. Like I'm not getting all the girls. I'm not getting tons of money. So I wrote about how I hated my job. I wrote about how I hated people who be flexing with fake stuff, you know, things like that. So, and I eventually made a demo out of that. And one of my homies was like, yo, this is dope. Like, you should really do something with this. And that's what encouraged me to like really put out an album myself.
And is it true that eventually you were acting as your own manager and you ended up getting booked for a Talib Kweli show at a college?
Yes, that's hilarious. I used to, I would write emails like in the third person, like, I represent Megaran. And I started talking to this guy at Lehigh College about opening for Talib. And the guy and my manager became so close through these emails that he's like, man, we should hang out sometime. And I was like, yeah, sure thing. But no, we're not hanging out because it's me. And so when I pulled up to the show, he was like, oh man, Scott's not here, your manager? I was like, nah, he couldn't make it. He's like, oh man, I was really looking forward to meeting him, man. He's a good guy. And I'm like, I don't think you'll meet him. He's very shy. He don't come out much. You know, like he's like my imaginary friend. But like that was how I got started because I just thought people would take you more seriously if you were, you had a rep.
Yeah.
You know. Now that I do have an actual rep, it does help a lot. I think it helps to have a buffer between you and talent sometimes when discussions come up. Me and Teak were just talking, like, if you reach out to somebody for a feature or something or a verse or something like that and they don't know you, they might kind of play you.
Yeah.
But your manager's going to be like, hey, this is so-and-so and he's done this and that. They'll kind of toot their horn a little bit and maybe get them to say yes.
Yeah.
So it can help for sure to have a person representing you. But if you don't, man, just fake it like I did because I got booked and it was fine.
Get you a Scott.
Yo, get a Scott. Everybody needs a Scott.
Everybody needs a Scott.
Yo.
And I mean, you were working, and like you said, you did the Black Materia album, and that's kind of where it went off for you. The Rocket launch.
That was the Rocket. 2011 is when that happened. So that was over 10 years ago, and they got like really viral on Reddit. And so people on Reddit kept finding it and was like, yo, you I don't know if you know, but this thing is #1 on Reddit. And I was like, I don't even know what that means. What is he talking about? And they're like, Reddit's like the front page of the internet. It's where everything pops up. So that's when it happened. Then PlayStation Magazine hit me up. MC Chris asked me to go on tour. Game Pro, Game Informer, like all the magazines I was reading started reaching out to me. And it just showed me that there was another way to do it. Like you can be the best rapper and just rap about being the best rapper, or you can try something else. You can embrace your obsessions.
Yeah.
Your passions, I say. Like Snoop and Wiz with weed.
Yeah.
Like,
currency with cars.
Currency with cars. Like you can embrace your passion, and then those people who make those things will reach out and show love and be like, oh dang, nobody's speaking for us.
Yeah.
Come on. Like, so it put me in a real dope position.
Yeah. I mean, that's how I became a fan of you with wrestling.
Wow.
I'm a wrestling fan, and there's not a lot of, I mean, they are, but not like, they're not fans. Like, they're not tuned in.
No, not
they're like,
really tuned in.
They're like, what is mainstream fans?
Kind of mainstream fringe fans that be like, they watch once in a while.
Yeah.
But like going out to events, having a good time, and really knowing what's going on in the shows. Shout out to Wes, man. West Side Gun is my guy who's like a huge fan. Like he's legit. Like I first started running into him at events, and then when I had a show, when I was on ROH's show at MSG, I hit him up and was like, yo, dog, I'm at MSG. Pull up. And he was like, all right. I was like, I can sneak you in the back. He's like, all right, come on. So we went to the show, and that was his first time watching Ring of Honor. And he was just like, man, like, this was dope. And, like, being a real fan, he shows me, like, how much money he spends on, like, sitting up front. He's like, I don't take no free seats. I don't take no comps. I don't want any handouts. I just love it, And I'm like, I respect that. Like, that's when it's real. It's easy to sit up in the front because they paid you to be there and put a little name plaque next to your name. But showing up because you just want to be there is love.
I've seen him. I saw him at an indie event in Boca Raton. It's not televised.
Wow.
It was.
He just loves it.
He just loves it. He was at an indie show in Boca Raton. The main event was Matt Cardona versus Mark Long from the Challenge.
Wow.
And he was there.
I might not even pulled up to that. I mean, if I was in town, I would have. But like this dude just like flies out for like events. Like, it's pretty dope, man. Like, I love that.
Yeah.
Like, when I'm getting it like Wes, that's what I'm going to be doing.
Yeah.
I'm going to be everywhere.
I mean, you are already
People
everywhere.
think I'm everywhere.
You already are everywhere.
I've just mastered the art of being Instagram everywhere.
You
trademark, patent pending. Instagram everywhere. Basically.
You were in London for All In.
Yes.
Did you go to Money in the Bank?
No, that was in London too, right?
Yeah.
I saw Wes there too, and All In London. And my boys was like, I'm just walking out with West Side Gun, and my boys was like, mate, isn't that the fella from Griselda? And I'm just like, yeah. He's like, he just walks around with all that jewelry on by himself. I was like, yeah. He's like, he's in another country, mate. I was like, that's just how he do.
Yeah.
Like, he's just a regular dude. He's a fan.
Yeah.
And like, that's when he pulled up by himself, and we just hung out, watched the show, and all right, peace. Go our separate ways. You know what I'm saying? So it's yeah. I went there. Where else did I go? I didn't do any other out of the country events.
I saw
this
you
year.
in San Antonio.
For Rumble. Yep. I always go to the big four.
Yeah.
So Mania,
and
Rumble.
You were just walking around. I saw you on the way out.
Really? We had a good time. San Antonio is another town that like really shows me a lot of love, like musically. We had MVP pull up to our show in San Antonio, played a song with us. That was dope. Me and Teak just finished the song with MVP. Shout out to P. Let's see. So yeah, I try to make it to the big four and to as many AEW shows as I can, just to support. You know, it's dope when I get to work with them, especially. And now, since through those travels, I've got to meet a lot of the guys, and they're all very cool. You know, but it's been a crazy journey, man. Like to go from watching this stuff to people like knowing who you are, like that's crazy.
When you made it to the game, you were in. You had 3 songs for Fight Forever.
Yes.
So like to go from.
I'm in the game.
You're in the game.
That's pretty wild, man. I got to shout out Mikey Ruckus for that. They did a Black History Month compilation album where they had a bunch of people write songs for different people, and a lot of the wrestlers really dug the songs, started like using them. Scorpio Sky uses the song we rap to come out to. So yeah, man, it was just a lot of love, and that's where wearing your passion on your sleeve can really be rewarding. A lot of people are like closet wrestling fans or like closet anime fans and things like that. Nah, no more. Like you gotta be loud and proud because you never know who's watching, who's like, man, I was looking to give a check to somebody who raps and loves anime. You know what I mean? Like you just never know, man. Today,
Mortal Kombat,
that's a dream come true, man. I've been playing Mortal Kombat since Mortal Kombat 1 on Genesis. I still know the blood code, ABAC, ABB. And to be on the Mortal Kombat, I was on Mortal Kombat 1 and Mortal Kombat 11. And that just, man, it just happened because the composer for that, Will Roger, is a Philly dude.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and a brother from Philly who he's done Medal of Honor. He's done a bunch of big games. And when he did that, they was like, yo, reach out. Who do you think would sound good on this? And, well, there's only one video game rap dude I know. And then he hits me up. So that's where, like, if I had never let that known that I love these things, it wouldn't have happened.
Yeah.
So it pays to be as proud as you can with the things that you love. You know?
Fun fact too, bro. So my middle name is Raiden. My dad is
Get outta here.
a diehard Mortal Kombat fan.
Mortal Kombat.
And
Yo,
my middle name
so
is Raiden.
dope. Yo, that's dope. So that means Raiden's probably your favorite character in all these games, right?
Absolutely.
Raiden's fire in the new one.
He's
like the guy in the new one. Yeah.
I picked Raiden, and Zelina Vega washed me in Mortal Kombat.
Well, she's pretty good.
She's really good.
So that's fair.
Yeah.
I'm not good at the game, but the new game is fire.
No,
it's really good.
She washed me, bro.
That's hilarious.
It was. I think it might have been a flawless victory.
Dang.
Yeah, bro.
Wow. All right, ain't nobody gonna flawless me. No, I'm just kidding. I've been flawless before, but dang, man. Yeah. I mean, I heard she was good, but wow.
No, she's really good.
I don't want those problems then.
Hey, bro.
We got an event in Tampa tomorrow, and Mace, Great Black Otaku, says he's that dude in Tekken. So he called me out. He said he went to smoke. Tekken 8 comes out today, so I will have a copy, and we will be getting it in tomorrow night in Tampa. So
yeah,
we'll see. You know,
I made the first Wale Mania I went to was in Dallas. I didn't know about Wale Mania.
That's the one I missed. I came in late. I only made it for night 2 of that Mania, and I had a blast. But I had a crazy gig. I don't even flex like this, but that's the only way out. I set aside WrestleMania dates on my calendar at the top of the year. But my manager's like, yo, you're not gonna believe this. Louisiana Tech wants you to come out and be a keynote speaker. And I was like, oh, all right. I guess I'm missing Mania Night 1. So I did a gig somewhere in Louisiana. Flew this small little rickety plane to get me to Dallas to Sunday to catch the show. And I pull up I swear to God, this is my luck. I'm booked at the Omni Hotel. I'm staying there. I booked it last minute. I'm not a baller. So last minute, I get the Omni right downtown, 4-star. Get out of my car. Cody Rhodes is in the freaking Rolls Royce right in front of me, getting out, him and his mom.
Wow.
And I'm just like, what are the odds? You know what I'm saying? So it's so crazy like that. And Cody's like a guy who I've met twice. Like we've chat on DM once in a while. And he was like, hey brother, like goes up. I'm like, yo, you with your mom, bro? Like chill out. It was, I'm like, every once in a while I had to be like, who am I? Like what is going on?
Mega Ran, bro. You're Mega Ran.
I'm him. That's who I am.
Oh, man.
I am him. Oh wait, did I mute that or I unmuted?
Oh, you're good.
Okay, I'm him apparently. Nah,
No, you are.
Nah, I mean, I'm just a guy that just works hard, man, and
Nah,
like,
yeah.
and makes things happen. I go after the things that I want. That's really it.
If you could talk to Mega Ran, or if you could talk to Mega Ran in 2009 and tell him that you had music on ESPN, music on NBC, ABC, music on Tosh.0, is it 5 Billboard albums now?
Yeah.
5 charting
I
albums?
think that might have happened in 2009. The Tosh.0 might have been. That's show ain't been around for a while.
Yeah.
But man, 5 Billboard charting albums. Go on.
The number 2 kids album in America behind Spider-Man. Would 2009, 2008 Mega Ran believe that?
No. Dog, you get me choked up, man. Like, no. There's no way. It'd be like, stop lying. I'd give him this look like, you don't get out of my face, you scammer. Like, wow.
San Diego Comic-Con, like.
It's very humbling, man. I used to read comic books every day, and in the back, Stan Lee would be like, Comic-Con is coming, kids. You can't wait to have Comic-Con. And I was like, one day, man, I want to go to Comic-Con one day. Living in Philly, I ain't never gonna make no Comic-Con. And then the moment I start doing my thing, Capcom's like, yo, you want to come to Comic-Con? Like, not do you want to buy a ticket, do you want to be our guest? And I'm just like, what? But then my worlds start coming together. I go to New York Comic-Con now, I run into wrestlers. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? There's wrestlers set up and wrestling, gear makers and wrestling toy makers and all that stuff. So all the worlds are intertwined.
Yeah.
So it makes sense. Even when I feel like I'm pivoting crazily, I'm still within whatever this weird wheelhouse is, So it's pretty wild. It's pretty wild to think, man.
Yeah. I know I have a couple wrestling questions. I know we talked about music.
All right.
Who are your favorites coming up, and who are your favorites now?
Oh man, it's a lot of great cats coming up. Who's a guy I watch a lot where I'm like, this guy's gonna be real good. I mean, I think it's pretty clear. Everybody probably agrees. Is Trick Williams.
Absolutely.
Like, he's on the way. Like, that guy is a star. Yeah, man. I think right now Will Ospreay is a guy that, like, no matter what he's doing, I have to watch. Like, this guy is gonna wow me. I just watched his Josh Alexander match. Amazing. I was like, dang, how you end off last year with Match of the Year? You start off the next year with the Match of the Year. Like, Swerve is my dude. I think if there's any justice in this world, All In main event needs to be Swerve versus Ospreay for that title. Woo. Bruh, they'll blow the roof off that place. That
Swerve
needs to be the main event. Yes. Yeah. Big time. That needs to, Swerve needs to go over.
Yeah.
Just because, I feel like it's what's right. But, man, that would be nuts. So those are like some of my favorite guys to watch right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
And we do have a segment on the show, this or that. Got a couple.
This or that. All right. This or that. This or that.
So here's the first one. New Day or the Usos?
Come on, yo. Only one of them has invited me to come on the show for a rap battle and to write a song.
Bow Down.
Bow Down for King Woods.
King Woods.
Usos are 1B to me in greatest tag team discussion. But it's the New Day all day.
Okay. I just, two of the greatest. You said 1A, 1B. I did not ask. Rock or Austin?
Ooh, I'm gonna say Rock. I just feel like, being a kid of color, like seeing somebody up there that looked a little bit like us, and also, like, man, I just never forget Rock working with anybody, man. Like him out there with Hurricane and Val Venus, and like, I was like, Austin would have never.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
He was squashing those guys.
Yeah, he just squashed them. So, yeah, Rock.
Okay. Brett or Kurt?
Brett all day.
Okay.
I love Kurt though. That's a tough one.
Right.
But Brett's my guy.
Brett or Perk Angle? No, kidding.
Oh no, ain't nobody topping Perk Angle. It's tough because actually, no, it's not tough. Brett's the guy. Yeah, I've always wanted to be the kid who get the shades from Brett growing up.
That's facts. Yeah.
Everybody wanted that.
That's true. Gunther or William Regal?
I think with time it'll be Gunther, but I really love Regal.
Yeah.
Like I came up with watching William Regal, man.
The brass knuckles.
Brass knucks, the Regal Plex, Regal stretch. Like, man, that's a good comparison though. I think time would be better to Gunther, I think. But William Regal should not be forgotten. Like that was my dude.
Jericho or Edge?
Edge.
Okay.
I'm not particularly excited about either of them. I mean, it's just from what I've come from.
Yeah.
I'm a Attitude Era kid, and at that time, Edge was like the tag team guy, and then I stopped watching wrestling for a while, and I looked back and I was like, he's a champ? Man, get out of here. Like, I remember thinking that, like, Edge is the champion? What? Like, I didn't see his come up, so I was like, But, I mean, come on. Jericho, not a fan, just being honest. So, Edge.
All right. And the last one, Rey Mysterio or Eddie Guerrero?
Well, come on.
That's why it's the last one, bro. That's why it's the last one. I knew it was gonna be a tough one.
Wow. Okay. So what is the criteria here?
Whatever you want it to be.
Okay.
If it's
It could be work. It could be like who's more entertaining. It could be
who had better achievements.
Achievements. Whatever you like. Okay.
Whatever the criteria is for you.
It's almost unfair because Eddie's not with us, and in wrestling, like death kind of pushes you to this immortality.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? God forbid if we were talking about Edge and Jericho and one of them had passed away, my whole opinion might be different, you know? So,
but it's just the
but Eddie was so
have.
special, man. Like, you can go back on his stuff and it's just so beautiful. Like, it's just so fluid. He was funny when he had to be. He got it done in the ring when he had to.
He got people to boo him after people loved him so much when he turned heel.
That's the thing. I don't know if Ray could do that.
No.
I don't know. Ray tried that Filthy Animals run, he took off the mask, like, oh, he pretty too? Nah. You know what I mean? It's like, come on, man. We can't really boo you, Ray. Like, you too pretty. So I do like when a guy can work heel and face and be just as good at both, and that's Eddie.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, man. Well, I appreciate you, bro, for real.
Man, thank you.
You know, one last time I want to go over your achievements. You know, just a reminder, man, of how much you've done, and that nobody could ever take this from you. Again,
Thank you.
5 Billboard charting albums, the #2 album behind Spider-Man. You have a book. you have a book, man. You know, a lot of people don't do these things. Hold on, you were your music was in coursework for Penn State and University of Michigan.
Yes.
Louisiana Tech.
Yeah. That's crazy. Like, I never would have imagined those things. Thank you. Sometimes I guess you need to kind of see those things laid out to get a perspective. Because all I do, you know, I'm head down, just working, you know. So it does, like, mean a lot to be able to see, like, wow, I've done that. And, like, still going, man. There will be more. This book is the beginning. That's why it stops at a certain point, because there will be a follow-up. Yeah. And it's going to be twice as thick.
Hey.
That's when I get to talk about fatherhood. and all that stuff.
Absolutely, man. Yeah, guys, you guys can buy the book. I'm available everywhere. Barnes and Noble, Amazon. You get it wherever you can buy books.
Wherever you like.
Also, go stream Buddy's Magic Toy Box on all streaming platforms. Show my boy some love. Yeah, give him all the socials, give him the sites where they can see you at, man.
Cool. Megaran.com is the main site. There's at Megaran on Twitter or X. Nobody calls it X.
Yeah.
Insta Mega_Ran on TikTok as well. I put out 2 songs a month on Patreon, so join me on Patreon at any amount, and you can hear all the exclusive music. We do a wrestling podcast, Matt Mania. And yeah, man, you can find me anywhere. I'm everywhere.
He is everywhere.
Might see me at a wrestling show near you.
Absolutely. And also make sure, just go on the site. You going to Morocco for a tour.
I am.
If I have any Moroccan viewers, go check him out on tour.
Yes.
And wherever he has a show coming, make sure you guys tune in and make sure you give my bro a follow.
Thank you.
Man, this is another episode of Wrestling Rap Game. This is probably my favorite episode, I think, by far.
Wow. Thank you.
And man, I guess thank you guys. You guys can follow us at WTRG Pod. You follow me at They Call Me Pun. And make sure you guys share this, like this, subscribe, everything. And man, I appreciate you guys. Thank you again. Have a good one. Catch y'all next time.
Peace. Shout out to the team too, because man, they came in here. They was moving like little worker bees.
Yeah.
It was like Bob the Builders.
Yeah.
And they set up this really dope makeshift studio for us in the venue.
Absolutely.
So shout out to your team.
Yeah, best team in the world. I say best team in the world.
Yep.
Catch y'all.
Follow my own code, brother. It's a long road, brother. Put you on your backside. That's a stone cold stunner. Hell yeah. Mega Ran wins, LOL. They ain't even surprised anymore, and I can tell. Got no heat with you. But if I did, then it'd be white hot. Critically acclaimed off the chain, that's a mic drop. Cause when you limitless, they'll always try to limit you. But